The drilling stopped at 2:17 in the morning. Not slowed, not jammed. It just stopped making any sound. But the drill meter showed it was still moving. Dr. Ira Sen stared at the screen, completely baffled. 11 kilometers below the surface, the machine was still cutting through rock, but the audio monitors showed absolute silence. Not a low rumble, not a muffled grind. Zero. The workers started calling it the quiet zone, a hollow space deep underground where sound just died. On the third day, a technician named Rakish went down the access tunnel alone to check on the pressure valves. Later, when they reviewed his helmet camera footage, he was walking normally, his breathing heavy in the microphone. He was checking gauges, doing his job. Then, he just froze, as if he sensed someone standing right in front of him. His breathing slowed down, then stopped completely. The camera clattered to the floor, facing the empty tunnel. It stayed that way for 10 full minutes. After that, things started to get really strange. People said their voices felt weak, distant. Their own heartbeats felt louder, booming inside their chests. One worker swore he could feel his blood moving in his teeth. Nobody laughed. Lena, the sound engineer, decided to leave a recorder in the tunnel overnight. The next morning, she checked the file. Hours and hours of pure, digital silence. Then, suddenly, patterns appeared. Not sound waves, more like moving silence. When she played it back in the lab, everyone felt an intense pressure building inside their heads. One man's nose started bleeding. The head of security, Marcus, made a new rule. No running, no shouting, no sudden movements. He'd noticed that every worker who went missing had one thing in common. Their heart rate had spiked just before they vanished. Whatever was down there, it wasn't hunting footsteps. It was hunting the sounds of life itself. Heartbeats, breathing, the tiny creak of bones moving. Being alive was loud, and that was the danger. On day 7, they found the structures. Deep inside a newly opened tunnel, thousands of mineral shapes grew from the walls, looking like crystalline rib cages. Lena scanned them. They vibrated in the exact same pattern as the moving silence she'd recorded. It wasn't just one creature. It was a colony, a living part of the rock. And it was listening. Soon, the infections began. The first sign was your voice getting softer. The second was a strange, unnatural calmness. One infected worker stood in a hallway and slowly bent his own finger backward until the bone snapped. The sound echoed up his arm. Seconds later, dust fell from the ceiling. Just smiled. The only way out was the main elevator, which needed a voice command to activate. A standard corporate security feature. No voice, no exit. But speaking meant death. Ira, Lena, and Marcus waited in silence near the elevator, controlling their breathing, keeping their heart rates slow. Then they heard it. Not with their ears. They felt it, inside their bones. A vibration, like something far below, was moving upward. Listening. Marcus scribbled on Ira's hand. "You speak." I distract. Before she could react, he sprinted down the corridor, smashing metal doors, throwing tools, creating a storm of noise. Dust began raining down from the ceiling vents. Something was coming. Fast. Ira and Lena scrambled into the elevator. The screen blinked. Voice authorization required. Just then, Lena grabbed Ira's wrist. Her eyes were calm. Too calm. She mouthed the words silently. "It's inside me." Lena stepped back out, and the elevator doors slid shut. The console blinked again. Dust poured into the shaft above them. It was climbing through kilometers of earth. Ira leaned forward, and with a shaky breath, whispered the authorization code. The elevator shot upward. Below, deep inside the earth, something screamed without making a sound. 3 months later, Ira sat in a city hospital. The world was full of normal sounds again. Machines, people talking, traffic outside the window. The doctor pointed to a scan on his screen. "We found some small mineral deposits around your ribs," he said. "Probably harmless." As he spoke, the heart monitor beside her bed glitched. The steady, rhythmic beep stretched, and then it changed. A second, slower rhythm joined the first, like breathing coming from inside her chest.